Welcome to the Bad Girls Club. Wait a minute. The Bad Moms Club.
Welcome.
I was just thinking about the Bad Girls Club and then I said it. That is hilarious. As you can see, we are in a great mood today.
Yes.
Thanks to Tanisha, the one and only. So for those of you who do not know, I am Lavonda, your host of the Bad Moms Club. And my wonderful, wonderful co-host, Tanisha.
Hi, I'm Tanisha.
She is the leader and president of the Bad Moms Club. And for those of you who do not know what the Bad Moms Club is, it is a place for real moms. We cuss, we do not cook every day, and everything is not perfect, but we are moms and we rock. So we discuss, okay, we're moms and we rock. Well, we discuss real life subjects. We get your input on things. So we're going to have fun today. And today is a really, really cool show that everybody's been waiting on. A lot of people have emailed me and inboxed me about this subject. So today we're going to cover it. And of course, you know I'm going to give my opinion. The subject for today's show is the blended family.
Yes.
The blended family. Oh, my. The long-awaited blended family.
Blended.
So let me ask you this, Tanisha. Give me your definition of the blended family.
Okay. Blended family. So, sometimes mom, maybe not the mom, maybe sometimes dad, not the dad. Couple of children, stepchildren. So those are factors that make a couple of families up.
Blended family.
Blended.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think any combination of families can be blended. Taking one entity and bringing it with another entity, yes, and they meet, thus having the blended family.
Yes.
Now, here's the underlining part to this subject. It is not easy. It actually sucks. And we are going to go over why. The blended family does have, well, as you see, I always took my notes, of course. But the blended family does have a lot of benefits, a lot. But it is a process, and it definitely takes time to get there. So we're going to go over a few different topics under this subject and kind of get your feel. If you're watching my Facebook Live right now, whether from the Bad Moms Club page or from my personal Facebook page, please feel free to comment, chime in on the subject at any time. Please leave your comments, and also you definitely can leave questions in the comment box at all. I can't see them online if you're inboxing them or you email them, so feel free to leave them in the comments. So we're gonna say hey to a few of our viewers that's watching so far. Hey Rodney and Dennis and Kay and Cornelius, Sean and Renisha. Hey, Edward and Elizabeth.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Dominique. Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte, we should have had you on this show because you are the blended family queen. Valerie. Hey, Val. I just talked to you. Don and Lele. Lele, you're a good one for this subject, too. Ashley. I'm not going to tell y'all what Ashley just called me and did. Okay. Keela. Hey, Keela. Hey, Auntie Lolinda. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. And as I said before, please feel free to leave your comments and your questions as well. So we've already defined what the blended family is. But now we're going to go over some do's and don'ts for the step parent in the situation. So in the majority of blended families, there's, like I said, one entity that's coming into another, whether it's the stepmother or the stepfather. What I want to know from you, Tanisha, as well as everybody that's watching, what do you think are some do's and some don'ts for the step parent that's new to the situation?
Some of the do's, you want to be attentive, being coming first in. You want to get a chance to be a parent. You want to know the child, so you have to kind of not dive in, like you said, but go slowly with getting to know the child. Asking the parents tips on how they handle things with their child, and then vice versa, how would you handle it, you know? And then some don'ts, second guessing the parent, and you know, saying things that don't matter in front of the child.
I agree.
Always making it about yourself and not about the child. And I guess that's not a lot of them, but I don't want to, go too much. But that's a few of them that you should and shouldn't do.
Yeah, of course. I definitely agree with that. I got Sean right here in the comments who said, be patient with the children. I definitely agree. I think any type of change or any type of switch up in any household, the mother's household, the father's household, I think it's a time frame for the child to adjust. And I think anybody coming into the situation who the child is not familiar with or has not built a relationship or a bond with, I agree that they should most definitely be patient with that child and let them get to it at their own pace.
Yes.
Princess Ayana, because that's definitely her first name, said, remember you're a team player and not the lead in the case. I agree 100%. When you come onto a new team, you don't show up as captain.
Right.
You have to be a team player, and whatever the two parents
open to the situation,
whatever the two parents have going on before you come into the picture, I think you should adhere to that. Along the lines, there'll be a chance for you to insert yourself and what you do or don't like. But I think right away you definitely have to be patient. And I definitely think you have to get on board with what the parents already have in store. My biggest thing in a blended family situation, most definitely, is I think the biggest thing I think is discipline.
Yes, and that's the part of patience, getting to that part, because and that's another thing of asking the parent, like, well, how do you discipline your child? Because you don't want to go in head full swing, but you do want to know how to discipline that child or each child.
I think there needs to be boundaries set. No child should ever be able to disrespect an adult on any level.
I totally agree.
Whether it's words, physical, mental, nobody should be allowed to disrespect any. And I think that parent that's not in the household should definitely enforce that child not being disrespectful.
Yes.
But if there comes a time when that child is, I don't believe that a step parent should physically punish a child. Maybe not right away. If that's what the other parent, that's in the household sees it's okay to do, whatever they choose, that's fine. Not me, but that's fine, but I think it should be something gradual. Like,
yes, because you have to give them time to be open, and you have to give them time to get used to the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because it may not be that they don't like their mother's boyfriend or their mother's or their father's girlfriend. It may be that they're not used to them. It's a second party, so they're like, who is this person? This new person telling me what to do.
And you're gonna find that a lot with young men and stepfathers. That relationship there has to cultivate before any type of discipline takes action. I got a comment. Lay said, she said these are some of her dues. Be involved, take initiative. I say dive in. Let the child know that you're present and know that you are here for them as well. Yes, of course, be patient, but let the child know that you want to be involved with what they have or what they value is important. I agree, Lele. I think it's a case by case kind of situation, because you'll find some children who are naturally standoff. You got to realize they just come from a situation, well, in some cases, where the mother and father were together and now it's no longer.
Right.
And then some parents will jump into another relationship in a matter of no time, and the child doesn't have a chance to adjust. So no matter how nice you are, no matter how good you come off, that child is not going to like you, because they're going to see you as the reason mommy and daddy is not together anymore.
Correct.
So that's where the being patient comes in at, and that's where, like you said, being a team player comes in at, because that child needs to see, I'm not trying to disrupt what you have going on. I'm becoming an asset to what you got going on.
And that's
now,
difference.
I'll tell you guys my personal experience with blended family. You know that my children have siblings that are older than them. So when I came into the picture, the kids were kind of like, oh, she's okay, she's cool, but they were standoffish. I never tried to make a relationship. I never tried to force a relationship. But what I did do was just always... I was always a good guy. I ain't gonna lie. Every time he said no, I said yes. Every time, he has to do the discipline, I was there to dry the tears up. So that was my little door into their world. It worked for me. It may not work for everybody, but to this day, I have an excellent relationship with all my children's siblings. They call me on their own. Like, hey, they'll even call and say, my dad's doing. I'm like, I'll get them. Don't worry about it. I'm still the good guy. But that's what works for me. And like I said, you have to find your niche. You have to find your area in the situation and work your angle. Now, let me ask you this. What happens when you come into a blended family situation that's more than just one parent? What if you marry someone who has multiple children by multiple people?
And that's what I was gonna say next. Or what if it's an auntie taking care of, different children, and then as they get older, and different. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of different blendations that we can name.
I agree.
That situation with either the different mothers or the different fathers, that is a lot, because that's a lot of different personalities, and you would have to be strong. I would think.
To deal with, yeah. Because you don't have to just master one. You got to master all 8. I would hope it's not 8, but
But in situations, you do got people that have separate homes, separate baby mamas, separate baby daddies.
In 2018, if you are over the age of 30, 90% of the people that you date are going to have children. And whether it's 1 child by 1 person, 3 children by 1 person, or 5 children by 5 people, you are going to experience some form of blended family.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you're in a situation where there's multiple children's mothers, as you know, everybody's not going to conduct themselves the same.
No.
You may have that one that's very stern. She does not play about her child, which is fine, because I'm not here to do anything to your child. You may have that one that don't want to let that man go, and she wakes up every day to make your life a living hell.
I agree.
You may have that one that doesn't take care of the child at all, and it becomes your responsibility. You may have that one that's emotionally disattached from that child, and you have to step in and play those mommy roles and different things, and they don't even want you around.
Right, and I was about to say, and they still may not even respect, what you're doing, even though it's come out of a good place. Mm-hmm. And it's something that you're supposed to be doing because you're an asset, once again, to the child's life.
I agree. And here's the thing. You have to learn how to be the adult in a situation. And what I mean by that is every day you're not going to get a pat on the back. Every day you're not going to get that positive response that you would have necessarily wanted. But the reward comes in the relationship that's built over time. And what I mean by that is, for instance, with my situation, their dad was always at work before he began to work for himself. He was an engineer, always in the plant. He worked 16-hour shifts. So when the kids would come home for the weekend, I took them out to do the fun things. I was the one who took them shopping for special events to get them prepared. Not because he didn't want to, but because physically he couldn't actually be there because he was at work.
Right.
But when that credit gets rolled back, they don't say, oh, well, my stepmom took me, or my sister's mom took me, or my brother's mom took. They say my dad. So you have to learn how to be the adult in a situation and be okay with that, because at this point, it's not about you. You're doing what's best for the child. You're a part of a team.
Yes.
So you're not going to get that credit, that pat on the back to say, oh, this was all me. This was all. No. And it is a long road to getting that credit on your own, because it comes a point where that child realizes, okay, you are an asset to our family.
Yes.
I do love you. You are important to us. And that's when you get your reward.
Yeah.
So I got a comment from Princess. She says, consistency, I feel, would make this easier for the other children or mothers or fathers to become open to you. It may take time. I agree. I definitely think consistency in any situation is a huge. If that parent, male or female, decides that, hey, every week I'm dating somebody different, and then you come along and you're the one that they actually marry, you're going to have a hard time on your hands, because that parent, that initial parent, did not establish that consistency. That child is uncomfortable. I don't know how long you're staying. I don't know, how long you're going to be around. I remember when my twins were maybe about 9 or 10. And their father was my best friend. And their mother, I knew her, but we didn't have a relationship. And she cut into me one day. Like, I would always come get them and take them to do stuff. They're my godchildren. I would come and get them, take them to do stuff and all that kind of stuff. And she cut into me one day and she was like, listen, I don't know how long you're going to be around, but if you're not invested in my children, you got to go. And I couldn't even be mad at it, and I couldn't take offense to it because I know my best friend.
And it's just being real.
I know my best friend. And it's been a many of girls that came through that door, so she probably felt like, well, why would he ask you to be the godparent? What's so special about you? If you somebody that he's dating, we done been through this rodeo before, you need to go ahead about your business. But as she see, they're 22 now, and I haven't went anywhere. Now, I got the relationship with her now. So, like I said, it takes time. And then, here's the thing, too. You have to give the child time to adjust. You also have to give that other parent time to adjust.
Yes, because, just because, we're blending and it's here and it's happening, that doesn't always mean that I'm receptive to what's going on. Because I'm still new to it, Just because I'm new to it doesn't mean that I'm true to it. Doesn't mean that I'm not trying to be true to it. I just have to know how. And that comes with growth.
Yeah, the petty part of me says, she don't have no say-so on what's going on in my house. It's my relationship with my man. But the truth of the matter is, that's her child.
Yeah.
And at one time or another, she loved that man. Or they had some type of relationship. Her feelings matter just as much. Now, is she going to tell me what to do in my house? No, ma'am. But I will take your feelings into consideration, especially when dealing with your child. Because at the end of the day, that child belongs to her. Yes. You can love them, you can dress them, you can drop them off. That child belongs to her. Correct. She birthed that child, and it belongs to her, and her feelings does matter.
They do.
Now, if you get you one of them petty ones that make you want to fight her, I would suggest you reframe, because that child is watching. And Correct. That child is not going to see those midnight calls she did. That child is not going to see the ride bash she did, all the harassing, all the Facebook statuses. That child saw you attack their parent, and now you are the enemy, and it's time to start all the way over.
Correct. And if you even can repair it, because with some children, when you hurt or attack one of their parents,
my mama,
it's a lot. Or my dad, like one of these, a battered woman,
I agree.
Busting the tires out, all this Jasmine Sullivan.
Children don't see that.
They like, wait, what happened?
Only thing that children recognize is what's presented in front of them,
and if it's not explained, they may not even understand.
And that's another thing. I believe that you have to take that time to explain it to your child. Yeah. You can't just throw your child in any situation and say, "Okay, this is your new mom," and this will be going. No. First off, that child already has a mom, so let's just throw that new mom out the window.
That's watching what we say,
because I know if I'm on the other end and I was to send my child, like say if I wasn't with their father and I sent my child, to his house with his new girl,
right?
She does not have a new mother. I am her mother.
There's no such thing.
I am his mother.
There's no
I am still the mother. There's no such thing. So you have to take yourself out of that step parent situation, and you have to put yourself in that, real parent situation and say, what, how would I feel? How would I feel if somebody came in and tried to take over or present themselves as the new mom? You don't need to fix what ain't broke. I'm doing a great job. I don't need a new mom. My child doesn't need a new mom. I definitely say. Okay, so now we're going to move on to some of the don'ts. And we're going to start with the other parent. And I like to call it the outside parent only because they're outside of the home.
Yeah.
So that makes the difference between the two. So what do you think are some of the don'ts for parents that are outside the home?
Not attacking the couple and not respecting the boundaries of what they have. Now, even though his or her feelings, may need to be addressed to the couple or, to the person that is outside, to the people that are inside of the home, so they'll be all on one accord. Now, you cannot step on toes. You cannot insert yourself in on things like, say we're family time and here you go. Yeah, well, you were supposed to do this, that, and the third, and that's not what that's for. You only supposed to communicate with that outside parent if it's for the child. Now if we doing extra things of that nature, that's not supposed to happen.
Oh, I definitely agree. I'm going to say, we got a couple of new viewers. I'm going to get some shout outs real quick. Crystal, Chantel, hey, that's my favorite cousin. Ebony Nicole, hey, Shanetta. This is the second time you watch my live today. I'm feeling special. Hey, Stella, hi, Brandon. Y'all know that's my favorite brother. Bianca and Jeremy, hey, cousin. Q, hey, Q. And Letitia, hey. Okay, so as far as my don'ts for the outside parent, I think the same exact things that I think that the inside parent should do, I think the outside parent should do.
I agree.
I believe that the outside parent obligation is definitely to respect not only the feelings but the space of the inside parent. You get the outside parents sometimes want to show up to the family reunions.
And that's right.
Come over for the holidays. Unless you are invited, your presence is not needed. This is no longer your space anymore. And if you want your child in a loving environment, then you have to create it. Number one, creating it by having positive vibes. If you're talking about me at home and then your child comes to my house, that child is automatically going to have somewhat of an attitude, somewhat of,
it's definitely going to show
the
up.
The biggest way for you to know if you've ever been talked about is watch how their child reacts to you. If that child is short, quiet, it's because they're uncomfortable. They've heard about you the whole ride to where you guys meet at, and now they're standing in front of you. They don't want to hug. They don't want to kiss. They're small, short, because they're uncomfortable. Yeah. So I really do believe. I believe that outside parent does have to respect the boundaries of there is someone else here now. You have to learn to respect that relationship. And though you may be very familiar with that man, you have a child with him. You could walk in, give him a kiss on the cheek, give him a hug, all that stops. It all stops when there's a new parent in town because now those boundaries are there. And as I said, if you want your child in a loving environment, it's very important to put out those positive vibes. I also believe for the outside parent that I think they should invite the inside parent into their world as well. However you want to raise your child, whatever you want to accomplish with your child, I think you should share that with the inside parent, or should I say the new parent, so that everybody's on the same page. Men and women, they communicate differently. A woman can understand another woman, but sometimes it's hard for a man to understand a woman and vice versa. So if we sit down as two women and you say, listen, my child's a dancer, and I know that this is my child's passion, this is what my child wants to be, and I need you to be able to support that. That means going to practices. That means picking up from practices. That means, going to every recital.
Correct.
That means looking for new opportunities. This is the way that we're raising her, and this is what we want to do with her, and I need you on board with that. A simple conversation goes a long way. But if you're at home and you're raising all kind of ruckus because, well, she didn't pick her up, or that new parent may not even understand how important what you've asked of her is, because you've never communicated that to her.
That's a big key.
So I definitely think that. And then here's again what I said about being too familiar. It's not your man no more, boo. That's not your man no more, boo.
You gotta check yourself sometimes.
You better knock. You don't just walk into that man's house. Yeah. He don't need no hugs. If he need hugs, he got a whole new boo.
Sometimes you may have to lay low. If you just walk in,
you stand by the door while Boo Boo take her shoes off, and you say, "I see y'all later. Have a blessed day."
You understand? Hey man, you need me to pray for you?
You ain't Will and I ain't Jada. I ain't trying to kick it and chill. Drop your kid off and keep him.
It's 2018. You gotta keep it moving.
Listen, I don't trust none of them. Look, I come outside to the car and get it. You don't need to come in. You don't even know what kind of friend I'm.
You want me to come out?
But you know what? Honestly, that is a part of the process. Yeah. Do not overstep your boundaries until you're invited in.
And you have to give people a chance to get comfortable with the situation,
including the parent and the child.
Yes.
I definitely agree.
I totally agree with that.
We got some new viewers. Hey, Courtney.
Hi, y'all.
Rodney and Kareem. Hey, Candace. Sean said never have fights or arguments with each other in front of the children. I definitely agree. She said don't talk bad about the other parent. Never talk bad about the outside parent. Listen, If my child is at your house and you feel the need to say anything negative about me,
go in the basement.
That would be the last day at your house. Because I feel like if you don't have my best interest at heart, there's no way you can have my child's best interest at heart. Now, I will say this as a disclaimer to that last statement that I made. Some people are just not mature enough to handle those situations, period. Yeah. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what. They are just not mature enough to handle those situations. No. So, with that being said, sometimes you have to set very fine, thick, bold lines, boundaries with those people. Drop off and pick up third party, whatever you need to do to keep the peace, because the object is to make sure the child is safe and growing, and the other object is to create peace in your home. Leanne Washington, why are you watching my show? You are not part of a blended family. You've been married since the 4th grade. What? Please tell Jackie I said hello, okay? Hey, Riri. Sean said exactly. Who is this? Miss Ree. Oh, she said that's true. Ree, you know, as soon as you popped on, a whole bunch of new ideas and topics just came into my mind. Listen. Lace said, I personally stopped even going towards the other father of my child's house when the new girlfriend moved in. The father of my child kept inviting me, but I said I'm good. I think that's I agree 100%. Honestly, I have no interest in, I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to be y'all friend. That's just me personally. I just want y'all to work so that my child can witness a good relationship when she's at your house. Correct. And I want her to experience, or him to experience, a good relationship when they're at home. That's it. I'm not interested in the whole we taking vacations together and that ain't me, and it ain't never gonna be. No, that is to each his own. Yeah. Reese said she here for. You know what? If I was to discuss the topics that I want to discuss concerning you, I probably, listen, Facebook would explode, okay? So listen, I would have to dedicate a whole show to that whole scenario, okay? That whole scenario. So again, as far as do's and don'ts for the outside parent, what do you think some of the don'ts are for the inside parent?
Not to try to engage, you know what I'm saying, in some of the things, because knowing that some of the extra things cannot, they may offend you. They may make you feel some kind of way.
Don't get caught doing too much. Mm-mm. Do not get caught doing too much.
And you won't have to worry about, you know what I'm saying, like kind of the outside behavior.
You ever hear people say, play your role? I hate it because I feel like I don't have a role.
I don't do a role.
You acting. Yeah, I'm not there, but in a sense it makes sense. I
want to roll my role.
I like to stay in your lane. Don't get over without a blinker. Because I'm going to do me, and I'm going to keep riding forward, but you ain't... Don't come over here, and I ain't coming over there. Just
we gotta have that respect wall. It's gotta be a respect wall. We gotta, kind of communicate with.
Yeah, but I will say this because we're getting ready to wrap things up. Some of the benefits to having a blended family. I'll say it like this so you can understand what I'm saying. When I went away to school, I went away to Christian college, and I've always been in church since I was 2 or 3 years old. And when I went away to Christian college, it exposed me to so many different variations of Christianity, not just non-denominational, not just Baptist, different things like that. When you expose your child to a different atmosphere, that step parent brings a new view, new cousins bring a new view, new grandmothers, grandfathers, you expose your child to so much more love. So don't be so quick to say, well, I don't want to be a part of a blended family.
Or I'm not going to do this.
Or this not going. That could never be me. Listen, you could be with a man for 60 years and life will change. You never know. And it doesn't always have to be negative. Somebody could pass away, whatever. But as adults, we have to open our minds and open our hearts to putting our children in way more positive situations
than negative.
Most definitely. So I really want to thank everybody for tuning in. All your questions and comments. We might have to do a part 2 because I still see comments rolling in. I just appreciate all the participation and everybody who's listening. Yeah, and we will be back next Thursday. And I have a very, very special guest next Thursday. The principal of Academy of One will be here, and we'll be talking about parent involvement. And if you know Mr. Hauser, he is absolutely hilarious. Look him up on Instagram. So I thank y'all. I love y'all. Be careful. And we will see you next Thursday at the Bad Moms Club.
Next Thursday, guys. Tune in.
We done?